Michelle Carter, and I'm the owner of MCB Nurse Consultant. I'm the #1 DON coach that helps directors and nurses in long-term care to increase their impact, their influence, and their income. I want to talk to you today about being a director of nursing and having relationships with your CNAs. If you don't know, this month is CNA month. We celebrate our CNAs starting June 12th to June 19th. And that's the week that we celebrate our CNAs. A CNA is a certified nursing assistant that works in the long-term care industry. They are the backbone of long-term care. As a director of nursing, you have to have a good relationship with your CNAs. I've been a director of nursing for over 17 years. So I have been able to build relationships with my CNAs in every position I've had as a director of nursing and also as a unit manager. I started off as a director of nursing back in 1993. Can you believe it? I started off as a director of nursing back in 1993. So I kind of understand what they go through and how challenging their job is. They have a lot of physical challenges that they have to overcome. But as a director of nursing, you want to be able to have that connection with them. We did a video last week kind of talking about the connections with your CNAs, but I want to stream it down very, very specific this week. And I want to talk about how you have that one-on-one time with your CNAs. Sometimes you have to be that confident for them. Sometimes you have to be that mother figure or father figure for them. Sometimes you have to be a sister or a brother to them. But you're always going to be their leader. You have to be able to keep personal opinions and personal bias separate from your relationship with your CNAs. Sometimes you may not like the way they do things as far as their personal lives. But as us being leaders, that's part of our job. If it's affecting their work performance, that we lead them and guide them and coach them to get to the next level. You want to embrace them and help them to strive to go to the next level if that's what they choose to do. There are some CNAs who are geared to be nurses, and there are some CNAs who are very, very content with being CNAs. And I 100% believe we have to have a balance of all roles. If you don't have CNAs, then we wouldn't have that direct contact with our team. And if you didn't have directors or nurses, you wouldn't have captains for the ship. But you want to be able to connect with each of them. I personally have had some very, very strong connections with my CNAs. There are times that we've sat and talked about personal things, and there's times I had to help them with their personal issues, just so they could be better performers at work. Go out to your units and have some time with them. Sit down and have lunch with them. Talk to them about their children. Get to know them. Let them get to know you. If there's a special event that you're having for one of your children, or a special event that you're going to, such as a wedding or a baby shower or a big family reunion, it's okay to show several pictures of your loved ones, because that's going to build a connection to them that you have that emotional connection. You want them to do the same, because you have to remember, we're at work. The CNAs are at work anywhere from 37.5 to 40 hours a week. And we're there probably 60, 70 hours a week. But you're with your CNAs and your other team members more than you're with your own family sometimes. So why not have those connections? Why not build those relationships? There's going to be times when you're going to need to lean on your CNAs. Now, lean on your CNAs. Now, I can give you examples. There's times when I had to work as a CNA because of our staffing situations. Because I had a good relationship with the CNAs, they were able to help me and guide me. Because when I'm out on a unit with them, they're the leaders. They're the captains. And I have to kind of follow their lead. You want to be able to have an environment where they feel comfortable coming to you when there is an issue. You want to embrace their ideas. We're going to talk a little bit more about that next week, of how to embrace their ideas and how to get them to the level get them to the level where they can be on your QAPI team. But right now, you got to start building that foundation. That foundation starts, and we brought this up last week. The foundation starts when you first interview them. Take notes of who they are and remember who they are. When they come through your facilities, make sure you have that first introduction with them and that you connect with them. I do that with even agency CNAs. There's not a CNA or a team member that comes through my building that I do not introduce myself personally that I see on the shifts that I'm there. And if it happens to be like on a night shift and I'm not there as often, when I do get a chance to meet them, I make sure I introduce myself and who I am, and I get to know them. Don't you want your CEO to know you? Don't you want your ED, your executive director or senior director to know you? So why wouldn't your CNAs want to know you? And why wouldn't you want to know them? Go out to lunch with them. Have a lunch break with them sometimes. Sometimes you can just sit and have lunch with them. I've done programs at some of the facilities I work. I sat and had lunch with a CNA once a week, just to have that connection and some downtime. If you ever happen to work as a nurse on the floor, as a director of nursing, we have to do that at times. That's another way where you can build your connections with your CNAs. They get to see you at a different level. There was a time where I had to work as supervisor. I had to pick up, and some of the team members got to see me at a different level because I stepped out of the director of nursing role and went back into my floor nurse role. So we worked together. Help them when they answer the call lights. If you're going down a hall and you see a call light, answer it if you have the time. If they need help pulling people up or they need help repositioning people, help them. Help them if you have time with your trays. Now, I know our days are extremely busy, and I get that. And I'm not telling you have to go out there and do all their work because you want to get them to the point that they're high performers. But there are times when you're out there and they're struggling that you can give that little assistance. You'd be surprised how that little assistance can change the whole relationship between you and your CNAs. And most of all, always tell them thank you, how much you appreciate them. It may be something small. You may be rushing through the day and they come up with an idea and you know you can't do the idea right now and you're rushing to get to the next meeting, or you're dealing with something that is bigger as far as regulatory compliance or whatever the case may be. Go back and talk to them and let them know why you couldn't do it. Give them a chance to understand why this idea is a good idea, but it might not be the most effective idea at this time. And brainstorm with them to see if they have other ideas. Having that connection with your CNAs is so important. And if your nurses see you have that connection, then your nurses will have that connection. Remember, your CNAs are the first person that the residents see in the morning when they wake up, and the last person they see when they go to bed. You want to be able to make them feel comfortable to come and talk to you. You want them to know that you are there for them, that you're there as a team captain to help guide them. I've worked in facilities and I have been on the other side as a CNA, as a nurse, just waiting to see how long this director of nursing was going to last. They want the consistency. They want that to build those relationships. Give that to them. Give them that consistency and give that relationship, and you will see your team and your environment change. You'll see the culture in your environment change. Again, the CNAs are the first persons that see the residents in the morning and the last person before they go to bed. So you want to be able to have a relationship with them because they are taking care of our most vulnerable population there is, our geriatric elderly population. Guide and teach them to be able to give the great care that you know they can give. Always show them that you appreciate them, even if it's just a good morning. You see your CNAs in the morning, it's not going to hurt to say good morning. It's not going to hurt to say, I hope you have a good day. When they leave at the time clock, and maybe you couldn't make it to the units that day, that you just say, hey, if the time clock is close to you, you just say, hey, have a good evening. I hope you have a good weekend. Build those communications. We need our CNAs as a director of nursing. We can't do our jobs without them, and they can't do their jobs without us. So why not us work together as a team? I hope these little tidbits help you, and we'll be talking next week about helping your CNAs to develop strong ideas that can change the environment for your facilities. Talk to you soon.